What's up, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here with this week's episode of What's New TW. We are in March, probably the best month to be out on the water catching bass. Everything's moving up on beds. Now is one of the best times to catch the biggest fish of the year. We got a short episode for you today, just a couple of quick things, but coming up here shortly, the next few weeks are going to be really exciting. Classics coming up, a bunch of new stuff is about to get released, so make sure to stay tuned for the following couple of weeks. First up from Duckett, we got the new Torch series of rods. So we got these in spinning and casting. I mean, bunch of different models from 7-foot jerkbait rods all the way up to your flipping sticks, finesse spinning rods, whatever you need, they pretty much got it in this lineup. Phenomenal series of rods that come in at 99 bucks. You're getting a premium quality rod for the price point. Down on the blank, they're using their Sensi Touch blanks, and then the guide system, they're using a stainless steel guide with a chrome insert. So you're never going to have to worry about knocking the ceramic out of there or cracking your inserts. No matter what kind of line you're using either, you can run braided. You're not going to dig into those guides at all. So if you're an angler that's maybe a little harder on your equipment, you beat stuff up, you break a lot of guides, you just beat stuff up, for 99 bucks, this thing's pretty indestructible. Super awesome series of rods. Down on the grip, we have a true split grip design and a really dense EVA foam handle on here. When you grab onto that thing, it is a lot denser than some of the other EVAs out there on the market. And then with all that blank exposure, you're going to get a ton of sensitivity out of this rod. So great series of rods. If you're looking for something at a nice price, the new Duckett Torch series for 99 bucks. All right, a bunch of things from 6 cents. This new one here, one I'm pretty pumped about, the new Congo Craw. I'm sure we're going to be seeing this on the live coverage here coming up in most of the pro level events. This craw, really unique. It's really small, compact, and really built to be a flipping bait. And with all those appendages on there, once you separate them and break those things apart, I mean, you're going to get 4 big appendages that have that nice lip on there that are all going to kick and push a ton of water. Plus, you need a little added action from the small side legs. Really tough body, so you can put a big flipping hook in there, and it's not going to get beat up as some of the other softer materials on the market. But this craw is unique because you can kind of customize it for whatever you want to do. So if you want a more finesse bait for maybe punching through mats, you want that more streamlined profile, you can pinch off these outer claws and just have that more subtle approach. Or if you want to trim it down for maybe a jig trailer or a vibrating jig, something like that, it's a great option to do that as well. First thing I thought of when I saw this is going to be a great bait for a wobblehead. We actually got a new wobblehead from Xzone here coming up in a minute, but great bait for wobblehead fishing. One of the most fun ways to kind of cover water and get some great jig strikes. So if you're looking for new craw that you can do a bunch of different stuff with, and they've got a bunch of phenomenal colors, check out the 6 cents Congo Craw. Next up from 6 cents is their Judge Worm. Another unique design. 6 cents is always kind of pushing the envelope and making some really cool stuff. This new Judge Worm is kind of a hybrid between your traditional swimming style worm and kind of a swim bait. The body up here is more towards that swim bait profile with that tall body, more shaped like a shad, so it is narrower, but it does have that tall body. It does have the slits in it, so down here on the belly, and then it has that small fin on the back to really hide that hook point. So rig up your EWG hook, and you can tuck that point in there, and it's going to be perfectly weedless, and you can fish it through all kinds of grass and weeds and stuff, and it's going to come through cleanly, which is great. With all that ribbing on the side, it's going to push just a ton of water. So all that extra material on there is just going to move a lot more water and just overall make a bigger presence and create more vibration and help these fish find this bait in those dark, murky conditions. Down on the tail, you got that aggressive thumping tail. So it's going to kick and swim. So you can rig this up on your Texas rig and fish it just like you would with it like a normal swimming worm. But it's also a great trailer for your bigger, like your Magnum swim jigs or your spinner baits. It just makes a great trailer and just something a little bit different than your traditional paddle tail style kicking trailer that most people are using. This one gets a little bit tighter action than those big wide kicking swim baits. So it's going to be a great trailer for those bigger spinner baits and those bigger swim jigs as well. A couple accessories from Line Cutterz. This first one here is a dual scissors system. What's great about this, it's got 2 different cutter systems on it. So up on the top, you got a serrated stainless steel scissor, And then down on the bottom, you have these ceramic blades where you can just slide the line in and cut them. And then they have a clip on there so you can keep it on your hat bill, you can keep it on your pocket, wherever you want, but totally rust proof. So if you want to use this in the saltwater, you can use it in the saltwater as well, freshwater, whatever you want. And I believe it's rated to cut up to a 100-pound line. So great little tool, just super easy, compact, doesn't take up a lot of room, and rust proof, just a great way to cut your line. And they also have these little flat mounts, which I think are super cool. So it's basically the same, piece of material that's on the bottom of the scissor there. So you have these little flat mounts, and they come with a small piece of 3M adhesive on the bottom, so you can stick these wherever you want. So slap them on your cooler, on parts of your boat. I'm for sure going to put a couple of these on my kayak, because sometimes when you're out there, you're so limited on space, and you're trying to have, you have all these pliers and tools, and you're trying to cut line, and you're fumbling around, and you're for sure going to drop a few in the water eventually. But it's nice to just have something that's quick and easy. You can just cut line quickly, and it's always going to be in that same place, and totally corrosion resistant, so never going to rust. So if you want to put them on your saltwater kayak and always have somewhere to kind of, quickly cut your line, that's a great option for you. All right, from Xzone Lures, we got a few new tungsten options. So we have a new tungsten ball head, and then we have a tungsten propeller head. Both going to be great options for all the forward-facing sonar anglers out there. That tungsten material allows you to cast a little bit farther, have a smaller profile than you would with lead. So a little bit heavier jig head than, in relative size than you would with lead, because it's such a much denser material. And that harder tungsten material gets a better return on those sonar units as well. But if you don't have to have forward-facing sonar to use these things. Tungsten heads are great for fishing, small finesse swim baits, or small, any kind of finesse lure, and you want to drag them along the bottom. You can really feel every single thing that your bait is coming across. Just a dramatic increase in sensitivity with those tungsten materials. With the propeller head, so it's going to be great for your small little finesse swim baits. It's just going to add that little bit of flash and just a little bit of extra vibration. Just something a little bit different in the water. If you're fishing along the bottom or suspended fish, whatever you want, that's just going to add a little bit of action to your presentation. The hooks on both these, Japanese super sharp hooks. So you're going to get phenomenal hook penetration and be able to hold those big ones on when they're trying to jump and throw the bait. The last one, we have a new tungsten swinging football head. So this is definitely one of my favorite ways to fish, is these football swinging heads, wobble heads, swing heads, whatever you want to call them. Tommy Biffle made this technique super famous. But with that EWG style hook, there's almost no limitations to the style of bait you can throw on there. Straight tail worms, creature baits, craws, swim baits, whatever you want, and you reel these things along the bottom, and that hook's able to swing around and give you just a ton of action. But now with that tungsten head on there, since you are moving these things along the bottom and you're really trying to drag them across structure, that tungsten just is so much more sensitive and going to allow you to feel, those transitions in gravel and sand and mud and the stuff that you're going across, and know that you're in the strike zone where you want to be. So if you're winding these things along the bottom and you really want to feel the type of cover you're in, tungsten is definitely the way to go. So check those out from Xzone Lures. Last up, we got a ton of new apparel from Huk. I mean, a bunch of shirts, hats, jackets, shorts, whatever you need for the upcoming, warm weather season. Definitely want to head over to the website and check out all the stuff we got from Huk. But the first one here is their new Icon Vert hoodie. So these new sun shirts are phenomenal. There's a ton of mesh in the back, and so it's gonna just have great airflow on it. They've got a bunch of really cool designs like this one here. There's a bunch of hidden bass in the camo. We got them in a few different colors, but the hooded design just gives you tons of great sun protection. I believe it's a UPF 50 rating. But all these new sun shirts from Huk have their new ice technology, which in the fabric, it reacts when you're sweating and you're in that hot weather environment. It actually reacts and gives a cool to the touch sensation. So it actually cools you down when you're out there on the water. So if you've ever been out there in those 110 degree days and you're just getting beat down by the sun, these sun shirts are definitely the way to go. And now these new ones from Huk are actually going to make you feel a little bit cooler. So check those out from Huk. We got a bunch of new hats, like this new stitch rope hat. I just definitely want to grab that one and show it off, because such cool design with the chartreuse rope and that outlined bass on there. Super cool hat. And then last up, we got a new rain jacket from Huk. So if you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit lighter weight, great, great packability, small, doesn't take up a lot of space. We know in some of the parts of the country, doesn't matter what time of the year it is, you're always in for some rain. And sometimes you just need that lighter weight rain gear, not necessarily something that you want to wear, in the wintertime, something that's not going to be warm, but something that's going to keep you dry, but not overheat as well. So this new Rover jacket is perfect for that. So it is lightweight material. It's a 2.5 layer with fully taped seams. So, I mean, this is going to completely block water out. Got a few nice pockets on the outside here. But one thing I did notice is on the back, it does have the vent system in here. So you have some air venting along the back and then that mesh material on the inside there. So it's going to breathe really well. So you're not going to have that feeling of just that heat all trapped in there like you would with the normal, rain gear that you normally wear in the wintertime. This one's going to breathe a lot better and just allow you to stay dry, but not overheat in those warmer weather rain conditions. That's going to wrap up today's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. For more information or to purchase any of these products seen here today, click shop or link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most excited about.